10 minutes after putting clothes on, I was so winded that I just laid back down and got back in bed. Okay, so I am home from the emergency room, and I am floored by not only the efficiency, the cost, but mm, the amount of Korean that I should have known in order to have a less stressful time at the emergency room, and just things that I should have had in place before going to the emergency room that I've never heard anybody talk about. So we're going to talk about those things today. All in all, I don't have walking pneumonia like I thought I did. I don't have COVID. I don't have the flu. I don't have anything. The doctor said I just have a cold, and because of my asthma and because spring has sprung, that all of those things combined with the fact that the last couple of days the air quality has been horrible, that at night I have been having difficulty breathing because it's like all of those things are coming together. I'm not moving around as much, and it made it really hard for me to breathe. So they gave me a brand new inhaler. I think I have like 3 or 4 more puffs on my old inhaler, so I'm happy to have this. And they gave me some pills. This one right here is for this is allergy medication. It is Allegra, and something else is in this pill pack. And then they gave me another pill pack, and I'm not sure. Oh, this one right here is for oh, I see what they did. So this one right here is I take a pill pack 2 times a day, once after breakfast, once after lunch. So this is the one that I take twice a day, and it is just the medication to get rid of the mucus and the phlegm that I've been coughing up that's been choking me at night. This pill pack right here has that same medication in it, but it also has Allegra in it, which is allergy medication. The doctor said that, mostly because I've just moved here and I'm not used to the pollen here yet, that even though I may not have really bad allergies, that my body's just not used to this. So that taking the allergy medicine for the start of spring should help my body get used to everything. So there's the 2 different pill packs. One I take twice a day, and then this one I take after dinner. So I'm going to take this one now, and I'm also going to take this inhaler. But all in all, I'm really happy with my visit. One of the things that I did find out is, so when you go to the emergency room, well, let's back up. When you're sick in Korea, they have clinics, they have emergency rooms, they have hospitals. When you have like a cold, like I did, when you have something mild going on, you go to a clinic. They're generally not very busy. You can get in, get out, and at most clinics, you can get the same things done that you would do get in an emergency room. If there's an emergency, cut off your finger. I'm actually having an asthma attack, chest pains, or something with vomiting, like it's like a real emergency, then you go to the emergency room. And then the hospitals are like for procedures and when you're admitted. So I should have gone to the clinic yesterday, but when I was looking on Naver and I looked up like hospitals, clinics came up, but it was not clear to me that places were clinics for just like general things. The way I was interpreting things, because things did come up like dermatology clinic, pediatric clinic, stuff like that. I was thinking that they were more like doctor's offices in the US. So that's why I didn't go to a clinic yesterday, but also yesterday I felt horrible. I basically stayed in bed. I did get up and put clothes on, but like 10 minutes after putting clothes on, I was so winded that I just laid back down and got back in bed. So today I went to a hospital that I found that had English speaking doctors and all of that stuff. I got there and I found the emergency room. I go in and there's this, I don't know if he was security or if he was more like a reception type person, but in Papago, I wrote down what my symptoms were and why I was there, and he was like, oh, you need to go to this person first, which was the triage nurse, which was right next door. So I go in there and I'm talking to her, and she does speak a little bit of English, but we're mainly using Papago. And she tells me that there's essentially, because my oxygen was very high, which typically when I have an asthma attack, my O2 can still be like 100, and air is moving, but it's not moving properly. She was like, since this is not an emergency, it's about a 12-hour wait. She was like, if you're cool with waiting 12 hours, you can stay here, or I can find another hospital for you to go to. So she put the address of the other hospital in my phone. I took a taxi there, and honestly, it was only like 10-15 minutes away. I get there, and it's a similar type setup. There's a guy there who asks me all these questions. He speaks a little bit of English, but again, we're able to communicate on Papago. But it turns out that they need a Korean phone number, and I'm like, I don't have my Korean phone number yet. I just moved here. I just started working here. I don't have my phone number yet. So he asked me if I have health insurance, and I'm like, well, I'm working, but I don't know if I have my health insurance yet, which is something I should have asked my employer about. I know that, but like, things have been crazy since I got here. And I was like, but it doesn't matter because I'm just gonna pay cash. So he was like, okay. He takes me to registration, and they're getting all my information in, and they asked about a phone number again. They were like, okay, if you don't have a phone number, you have the phone number of a coworker or a boss or somebody. We need a phone number. So finally, I do find the phone number of the director of the Hagwon that I'm working at. Give that to them, and they're like, okay, cool. And then they send me to triage. This person speaks a little bit more English, and I'm telling them all my symptoms. They take my blood pressure, and in the midst of them talking to me, a doctor comes out who speaks more English. And so he's like, from what you're talking about, it doesn't seem like you have anything serious, but that during one of these coughing fits that you had an asthma attack. And I was like, sure, that could be true. But he was like, you know what, we're just gonna bring you back and check you out. So I finished triage. I'm taken to the back. The doctor talks to me some more, and he says he's gonna order an x-ray and some blood work just to be completely sure that I don't have anything else. And I think I waited maybe 10 minutes before I was taken back to get the x-ray. Then I'm brought back to my bed, and I wait maybe another 15-20 minutes. The doctor comes back. He's like, your x-ray is perfect. There's nothing wrong. You don't have pneumonia, but I still want to get the blood work just to make sure you're okay, because there could be something else going on. So I wait maybe 10-15 minutes more. A nurse comes back, and she proceeds to try to draw blood. I realized when I came for my health check that the needles here are different. I don't know why they're different, but they just hurt so much more. The nurse was not able to get any blood from here, so she did another stick here in my arm. Can't see it, but she got that. She got the blood, and she hooked up an IV. Now, I have no idea what was in this IV, but I feel so much better. I do have a suspicion that I am also a little dehydrated, but it wasn't the medication that I'm used to getting whenever I've gone to the emergency room for dehydration, or just saline, or like, it was not that. It was something else, and I'm still need to look it up, and if I find out what it was, I'll put it here. But I was on that for maybe 30 to 40 minutes before the doctor came back, and he was like, your kidney functions are fine, your white blood cells are fine, like, you don't show any signs of any infection or anything, so if you have something, you're over the hump. But it doesn't even look like you ever had anything other than your cold was just really bad. Allergies, air quality, and all of that was the perfect storm for you to not be able to breathe properly at night. He said, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you another inhaler, these other medications, and you should be okay. And so it did take a while for me to be discharged, though, and I really think it took so long for me to be discharged because, like, they had some like really sick patients there. At this point, I'm not a priority at all. So I did get discharged, went up and paid, and for my 3 different medications for I think like a week. The pills are for like a week. The actual ER visit, the chest x-ray, and the blood work was 105,000 won. No, 105, 5,000, 105, 105,500 won, which is roughly $69.80 for everything. In America, this inhaler right here, without insurance, costs $70. So for the price of an inhaler in the US, I got everything done. And like I firmly understood before I came to South Korea that things were cheaper. Healthcare was cheaper, it was more affordable. But to actually see it is a lot different. And then on top of that, just to see how patient and kind everybody was, because I could tell people were kind of getting frustrated with the language barrier, but not in a disrespectful or mean way. Everybody was very patient and very kind. And if anything has made me want to study Korean more, this is it. And I would say if you want to be in Korea, you really should learn the language. Just for your own peace of mind. Oh, I forgot to mention that the interpreter that I was talking about that I found on TikTok, they did get back to me. And I low-key wish I had hired them to go to the hospital with me last night. I ended up not going with them only because I haven't gotten my full paycheck yet, and I was concerned if I would have enough money for everything. So, but if I do end up renting an apartment here, I definitely will reach out to them to help me go around and look at apartments, and all that stuff, because the amount of stress that I felt today, not understanding some things, was high. Like my blood pressure was through the roof when I first got to the hospital. And that alone is worth having someone there that can translate for you and speak for you. I know for me, if I had not been so familiar with just the way hospitals work and the different protocols that I think are pretty much international, that I would have been even more stressed out. But because, I understand, the time that you have to wait for blood work and, x-rays, how you have to stand and what you have to do when you're getting an x-ray, then I did feel some sense of comfort. Because it wasn't like I had to understand them saying inhale or breathe in, because I knew that that's what you did. So it made that process a little bit easier. But all in all, I kind of know what to do now when you get sick. I've never been to a clinic. I know next time that if it's something like this, I can just go to a clinic. And lo and behold, there was a clinic like 10 minutes from me. It's right by the grocery store that I go to all the time. So I could have went there yesterday. I could have went there today, saved myself a lot of money, because I ended up taking 3 taxis. I took a taxi to the first hospital, I took a taxi to the second hospital, and then I took a taxi here. Although I have not looked at like the conversion rate of those taxi rides. They were not super expensive, but I could have saved money, and I didn't. So I'm a little annoyed about that, but I am happy with the care that I received at the hospital that I went to. And it wasn't a bad experience at all. And just off of the medicine that they gave me while I was in the hospital, I'm feeling so much better. For me, South Korea will always have like top tier medicine that is not addictive the way stuff is addictive in America. So it was an experience. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I'm feeling better. I'm glad I have medicine for the next couple of days. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully feeling a lot better, looking a lot better, because I know I look horrible right now. But thankfully I feel so much better than I look. If you are interested in what things are really like here in South Korea, I talk about all things South Korea that are interesting to me, mostly about, being an ESL teacher and just living life here in Korea. If you are still here and you want to see more content about what being in South Korea is really like, the things people don't tell you about, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this with someone who is planning to come to South Korea and is a little iffy about what to do if they get sick and need to go to the doctor. And as always, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I know a lot of people don't talk about stuff like this, and I want to make sure you guys don't have to go through the craziness that I did. So share it with someone who's coming to South Korea, and I will see you guys in the next one.